Hi everyone, it's Kristine here. Today I want to talk about what really is important to us at the end of our lives. We might think it's work, we might think it's being busy and achieving things, but when I think about this, I think most probably what's really important to us is the people in our lives and the relationships that we have with them. I'd like to talk to you a little bit about my uncle. His name was Ralph, Uncle Ralph, and he's passed away a few years ago now, but I learned some really important things from him. So Ralph was a priest, a Catholic priest, and growing up, I never really felt close to him. I thought he was quite strict and quite stern, but he was always part of the family, and he was at our place quite a lot. And just after he retired, he had a stroke that was very debilitating, and he was pretty much fully paralysed for the remaining 8 or so years of his life. And in that time, after he'd had his stroke, anytime I came home to visit and he was there, as soon as I walked into the room, his face would light up. And it was like a different personality, that he was so happy to see me. And I hadn't really felt that way with him in the past, prior to his stroke. And after he died, after he passed away, we had his will, and he was talking about what was really important to him. And he talked about the church a lot, but he also said family is one of the most important things of all. And that surprised me. Like, he was really close to my dad and his, siblings that were still alive. But for him to say that family was so important, even though I didn't feel that close bond with him, I found quite touching. And thinking back then, how happy he looked to see me anytime I did arrive home for a visit or to spend time with him, I thought, wow, I think I misjudged him. And I got a lot out of that. I learned a lot. And I learned that even though I might not like everything about him, I can still love him. And I can apply that to other people in my life, even if I don't like everything about them, because none of us are perfect. I'm far from perfect. But we can still love them and still be loved by them and accept that. So, yeah, that was really something that I took away from what he was able to teach me. He used to really like coming to our family home most Sundays. Most Sundays, my dad would pick him up in the maxi taxi and bring him home for the day, the best part of the day, and he'd sit in the big comfy armchair, and he just loved it. And he couldn't speak. The only things I remember him saying after his stroke, like you'd talk about something and he could show whether he agreed or disagreed. And I remember one time he said, "Oh, yes." And some other time, some other situation, if he disagreed, "Oh, no." But no other words, to my knowledge, came out of his mouth. Yet he understood everything. I'm quite sure that he always knew what was being spoken about. So it, obviously must be a really hard time for someone at that stage of their life, in that state of disability. But I was able to later feel how much he loved all of us. So we might think it's important to be really busy, and we might think it's important to work hard and achieve things. And yeah, I fall into that category as much as anybody. But what if we think about what really will matter to us at the end of the day? Like, what will we want written on our epitaph? Or what will we be thinking about in our final moments? And I think for many of us, it's family, or certainly the people in our lives, the relationships that we have with the people in our lives, the love that we feel, the kindness that we've received or given. And we never really know what other people are thinking. Even if we feel that someone is not very nice to us, we may not know how they feel. They might actually love us a great deal. And if we can I don't know, give them an extra chance or be open to the fact that we're closer to them than what we might have assumed. Perhaps we don't waste that opportunity that we can actually take advantage of. So, yeah, what I want to really get across today is that I think people are important, probably the most important things to us in our lives. If we were to reflect on that, at the very end of our lives, it's the people that matter. Who would you want with you when you're on your deathbed? Who would you want there in your final moments? And perhaps we take that love with us. Perhaps we take that closeness with us to help us on our journey, whatever that might be. All right, that's all for today. See you next time. Bye.